Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. It's the first weekend of May, which means it's the beginning of the summer movie season, or at least it's supposed to be. But this year certainly doesn't feel like that at all, because for like the past 2 decades, it's usually been a tradition to have a Marvel movie open the summer, like say a Spider-Man movie or an X-Men movie or an MCU movie. And that's been like the norm for the past 2 decades. But this year, nah, it's not happening this year. Instead, we have two relatively minor movies in the grand scheme of things. And the first one we're talking about is Here Today, a movie that was literally added onto the schedule last month. Yeah, that should tell you a lot. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Let's look at our two leads here. We got Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish. Now, Billy Crystal, you probably know who he is. He's quite recognizable. You probably recognize his voice as Mike Wazowski from the Monsters Inc. and the Monsters University. That's where I recognize him from the most. But other than those movies, let's look through here. Yeah, there was. Yeah, it's mostly those two movies that I really recognize him. He's probably. I don't feel like looking it up, but I'm pretty sure you all know who he is at this point. Then we got Tiffany Haddish. She had her breakout role in Girls Trip, and her career's been uh not great. She started out good with Girls Trip. Then she had Night School. Both of those were hits, and then things took a turn for the worst. Nobody's Fool did kind of terrible. The Kitchen bombed. Like a Boss bombed. Both bombed hard. So that's a big old yikes. So I don't know about that star power. I'm not too sure that's gonna help this movie. I don't think it will. Why am I even why am I even saying this as a pro? That's a con. Maybe it's because I'm just struggling to come up with any pros for this movie. I guess if you want to go to a theater, you can watch this. It's certainly an option. That's all I got. Okay, cons. I already talked about Tiffany Haddish. Her career's just kind of just flatlined at this point. And Billy Crystal, I don't think he really draws tickets. Not to my knowledge. I don't see any real legitimate evidence of him being like a legitimate draw. Granted, box office draws are kind of dead now, except for like Denzel Washington or Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's about it. But yeah, so the cast is not going to help this movie. That's a con. Next con, this movie was literally added onto the schedule last month. It's had no marketing. I have not seen a single, not one YouTube ad for this movie. I've seen ads for Those Who Wish Me Dead. I've seen ads for Conjuring 3. I've even seen ads for Profile of all movies. I've seen ads for all those. I have not seen a single one for this. So most people probably don't even know it even exists. So big con right there. Lack of marketing, lack of advertising. Probably because Sony just didn't want to spend anything on this movie. Con number three, pandemic, like less theaters to work with. I bet even in non-pandemic times, this probably would have Sony still would have just thrown it in the trash. Let's be real. So yeah, I don't. This movie wouldn't have stood a chance, pandemic or no pandemic. Uh, I guess, and also I guess last con. This movie doesn't feel theatrical in the slightest. Like, why is this in theaters? This belongs on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or all the bajillion streaming services out there. Why is this theatrical? No one's gonna pay $10 to watch this. I sincerely doubt it because I know I certainly wouldn't do it. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, opening weekend. I'm going to guess 1 to 2 million opening weekend, and then it will probably reach 3 to 4 million, maybe five if it's real lucky, and then no one will ever speak of it ever again. And that's what I think's gonna happen. So yeah, that's here today. All right. Next up, we have Wrath of Man, and that's it for this weekend. The next weekend, whew, it's gonna be, well, I don't know if I'd say the word exciting, but it's certainly gonna be packed. We have four, count them, four movies to talk about. The most I've talked about since Christmas. Literally, that was the last time I talked about four movies. So I'm going to be doing that again, but that won't happen until next weekend. So you're going to have to stay tuned. But yeah, anywho, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out any of my past box office predictions from 2019, 2020, even the ones from 2021, like Mortal Kombat, Demon Slayer, Godzilla vs. Kong, Tom and Jerry, Raya and the Last Dragon. You want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. It's also there's also the canceled series where I just go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I just did one about Cinderella and Infinite both leaving the calendar, and Cinderella going to Amazon, Infinite going to Paramount Plus. But if you want to check out any of my past canceled episodes, that way you're up to date on what's going on with any movie you were looking forward to. I suggest you watch that series. It's quite informative, in my humble opinion. And then we got box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I just did the triple recap of February, March, April. The May recap won't come out till June. That'll be my first solo recap since February of 2020, before the pandemic just really threw a wrench in things. Yeah, but that won't come out till June. But if you want to check out any of my past recap videos, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.